How are we? Welcome back to another episode of Finn's Farm Life. So at the start today, some progress has been made. Cows have hit grass. We let them out this morning. Thankfully we had everything set up as I said in the last video. So cows went out this morning. We sent out half of them, 120 of them. So they're not doing much damage at all, to be quite honest. We're happy enough with the ground conditions, but it'll probably be this group now for a little while, and then we'll see tomorrow. We might chance putting out more cows again tomorrow, and get them all used to it. And then when they're going out to the silage ground, we'll have a lot more mouths to be grazing. So it would help an awful lot to kind of have that a larger amount of cows clearing the grass in front of them. So that's the plan anyway. So we'll see now what they look like this evening. They're only in here now a little while, but they're going to be in there until 4 o'clock this evening, like when I'm going milking. So once that comes, we'll take a walk of the ground and see what way the ground conditions are after they're in there for they've been there for about 9 hours. So we'll see what the ground conditions are like after that, and we'll decide then tomorrow. We'll decide after that then if we're going to send out more cows or less cows, or what are we going to do tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to go now, and I think I'm going to start setting up the silage ground outside, get strip wires up ready for grazing there, and put a plan for getting the cows to that field, because as much as it was a hassle to get them out onto this passage, it's going to be even harder to get them over to a field that doesn't have a passage to it. So that's something that I have to go configure now. So but good news, cows are out and a lot less work now inside, and we can start cutting back on the feed as well in the evenings, because they'll be in by night, out by day. So we can reduce the amount of feed we're giving them at night, not to be wasting it, and also then just to kind of save the reserves, even though we do have a good shot of silage left, but you wouldn't be long seeing it going. So that's the plan now. Grazing 2025 has commenced. Now, job done. Well, this job done. I've had to fence the road field outside here, which is silage ground. So there's one there, one down there, and there's one along the road as well, because we have trees that we planted last year. Go on, cows rubbing off them. Broad, come on. Come on, Broad. Over arse. So that's done now. I need to make sure there's power going to it, and then we have to go power washing, and we're going power washing the parlour. So that's today and tomorrow's job. So we'll get this done, get power cracking out here, and get back to it. I was hoping to take a video yesterday, Broad getting in the cows, but I ended up not having to go get the cows myself, so it was ideal. But I would like to get Broad back out, bringing cattle in, because he's kind of gone a bit rusty. So maybe in the next while we'll get out and get him in, and Broad can have his day in the sun. But yeah, that's the first job after the cows, and now we'll go in, get set up for power washing, try and get half the parlour washed today, and see from there. Now, started power washing there now, so got down as far, where did I get down as far? It's down as far as here. About halfway down. Number 12, exactly halfway down. But now I'm after tripping a switch inside in the fuse box, and it's the power washer that's tripping it. So obviously something's after going wrong, badly wrong. So we'll reconfigure and see. So all this needs to be power washed essentially. So all down the sides, all down the front. This stuff is impossible to get off, so thankfully that power washer is a hot washer, so she has an engine inside in her that heats the water, so I should get this off fairly handy. I started up here and it tore off fairly easy, so shouldn't be an issue. Just need to get the yoke on now, and hopefully it'll stay going for me. So right, I'll go in and rip this thing apart and see if I can figure it out. Now we've jumped very far ahead now. It's now 4:30. Ah, come on, wire will you open? There you go. I'm getting the cows. Started power washing, and then, as you saw, didn't work out. We got it going again. Then we pivoted to vaccinating weanlings or yearlings, this year's maiden heifers, for IBR and lepto. So I've been at that for the last few hours, and now we're going milking. Broad is getting his first run of the season to get in these cows. He kind of stretched his legs earlier on getting heifers across from the shed, so I'm hoping that he's not too green now getting in these cows. Easy now, Broad, easy now. Down around. No, 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 no. That is not what I wanted you to do. He's still a bit rusty after the winter time. This is his first time kind of getting cows since probably October, November maybe. And plus the cows are going in themselves, like, so it's hard enough to kind of give him commands like when the cows are doing what I want them to do. So, but it's nice to get him out, kind of get him pacing, get him kind of following cows, get him, back familiar with kind of going out into the field, knowing what he's meant to do. So, but I find, to be honest, now that it's nearly better off that I leave him at what he's doing than giving him commands, because he has a fairly decent bit of instincts, like that he knows when to go, when to stop. So these two here now are heifers, so they've never seen Broad before. Not since they were probably 2 years, well, not even 2 years ago. Broad wasn't here 2 years ago. Probably not since last year when they were in the shed themselves. Broad would have been bringing them across to the crush if we had vaccinations or anything like that. But in terms of getting them out of the field, they would have never seen Broad. So getting them used to seeing him is another thing as well, because in the summertime Broad will be inside in the parlor with me. Getting cows out, I'm getting cows in. I call him the four-legged backing gate, because to be fair, in my opinion, the best place, where he does his best work, is inside in the parlour. That's my opinion of him. He will go down to the back of the collecting yard and he will keep cows shoved up, and he will go down around at the very end and he will get every cow out of that collecting yard just at the command of go around. That is it. That is all I need to say to him, and he will do it. But he's still young. Like, I get frustrated at him at times, because there's times he kind of does things, he goes to do the command I give him, and then I don't know if it's that he loses confidence, but I don't think it is, because he changes kind of direction, or he kind of goes at his own, follows his own initiative, which is grand at times, but it's not what I want him to do. In certain situations, in these kind of situations, I don't mind if he goes around the cows, gets them in himself. I don't have to do anything. I'm after walking about 30 metres into this field, like, and he's him out. So it is nice to see that, but he is young. I'd say 2.5 years, they say, is kind of when they start to show their full potential. But he is kind of, with age, kind of starting to mature and kind of settle down a bit more. But he's a good dog. He is a good dog. I got him off a well-known man from Kerry, the Kerry Cowboy, as many people might know him. Got him from his dog Brandy, brilliant dog as well. But the only thing with Broad is that if I did have sheep, he would be slightly too big for sheep. He's just strong, tall, and not really built to be pushing sheep. He's a perfect dog for cows. He's good, strong, and he's kind of hardy as well. So cows are kind of perfect for him. So yeah, we'll go in now and we'll start up the cows, get everything milked, and yeah, we'll be back to you again with an update on how things are going. Oh yeah, and that's the last grazing they're going to have in that field. They're going to be going to the road fields tomorrow, so the big open silage fields. So hopefully we might have more going out. And then we're also thinking then of zero grazing some other silage ground and feeding that to the cows that we don't let out into the field. We're going to leave some cows in the shed and we're going to feed them under the wire along the outside of the new tank. That's the plan anyway, so but that can all change, but we shall see how that goes. But for now, get the cows in and start milking. Now we're back again. There was not all that exciting, so didn't have a whole pile to report back afterwards, but we're here now, and today's job now is to finish power washing this. As you can see, the wall is meant to be this colour, but what this isn't that the paint is gone or anything like that. It is lime scale, because the water around here is so hard that the lime scale builds up and it gives it this black shade to it, and I want that gone. So first we're going to power wash all this off first, the actual muck, and then we'll throw a descaler onto that then, and we'll see if that'll strip it off. Yeah, it is a pain because the thing you're using to wash the walls is actually what's causing this. Now, just back from the creamery there, I had to go down and get a high energy beef meal for a few of the heifers. We're going to go in there now in a minute. A few of the heifers that we picked out yesterday when we were vaccinating weren't up to where we wanted them to be, so we separated them out. We're going to give them a bag of meal between 10 of them, so they're going to get 2.5 kilos of meal a day going forward, just to try and add on a bit of weight before breeding. On the cow front, we have gotten them to the front field that I fenced yesterday, so that's the silage ground. They're doing no damage at all, thank be to God. They'll be in there now for going forward for a little while anyway, because there's 26 acres in there. They're grazing the first 4.5 acres and there's a lot of grass to get through. So today was the first day, so maybe tomorrow we might add another few cows into it and kind of start grazing a bit more heavily. But today was kind of just a test. I was going on about the trees that I had to fence off. So that's the trees I was fencing off yesterday. They were planted there I think last year, so just to make sure cows don't eat them. So but that is the cows, so not too hard to get them out there. I was worried it was going to be a lot harder to get them out there, that they were going to be acting the fool and stuff. But got them out there handy enough, got power to the wires, and should be no more issues. So we'll go in now and I'll throw off these nuts for these heifers, and we'll get them fed, and yeah, we'll go from there, see where the day takes us, because we'll either go back power washing now, or I also need to bed down the both sheds of calves, to be honest, need to be bedded. So we'll see which way I end up doing. Something will be done anyway, so we're just a matter now of finding out what. Oh, job done. So these along here now are the ones that are kind of where we want them to be, size wise, weight wise. They're all fairly consistent. They're a good size. Over here, these ones are just slightly more on the narrow side, and there's one or two of them that we treated for pink eye. But overall, they're not too bad. We just want a small bit more size on them. So that's why they're getting a more meal. So they still get meal inside in the feed, but they just needed a small bit more. This side is still getting. They're still getting. Jeez, I can't even see them. That side is still getting. That side is still getting feed. Is still getting meal in the feed, but they're just not as in need as the other ones. So, yeah, that is why. Why is this camera just gone away from me? So yeah, that's why that side is getting a bit more. But yeah, 4 more weeks now until we have to vaccinate them again. So they'll hopefully when that comes around, they'll have a bit more size in them. They'll get their second vaccinations and they'll be going out to the out farm getting ready for breeding. Last year, unfortunately, because of the weather that we had, we weren't able to get them out earlier, because we would rather have them on grass for a short while before breeding. As they say, sun's in their backs. In terms of breeding, you want sun in their back, it brings them into heat. And last year we had, I think, 6 or 7 that were prepubescent, that weren't cycling at all, and as soon as they hit the grass, got the sun on their back, they went out with the bull. Within a week, 10 days, those ones were cycling. So we'd rather now have them out for 2 or 3 weeks prior to starting the breeding. We will scan in, and then anything that is the best of the best in this, in terms of their own genetics or their generic merit from their mother and kind of their history genetics, they will be bred into a synchronized program, and we'll try and all of them will go to a sex straw. Majority of them will go to sex straws. So that's kind of the way we're going with them. We weren't planning on breeding heifers this year for Friesians. We're going to just do all beef, just to try and get the synchronizing to work the best, and also try and, I suppose, narrow the calving, basically the calving window for the heifers, try to get them calved earlier, that they have a better chance of going back and calved in the following year. But this year we do need slightly more heifers, in terms of for maiden heifers for 2 years time. So we're going to breed these with a few Friesians as well. So that's the plan breeding wise. We'll talk again about that down the line. I'm also going to do a video. I was asked about the bulls that we use for the calves that are inside, so I'll get a list of the bulls that we used, I'll get a list of the calves outside, and I'll do a full video on kind of the bulls that we used and the resulting calf that came out of them. So we'll do that in the next coming weeks when I get a bit of a chance. But for now, we'll go over and we'll see where the next plan is for the day. Because I could have 10 jobs that I'm going to end up doing, so I'm not going to say which I'm going to be doing. We're just going to jump to whatever job I end up doing next. Now, that's my power washing done for today. Wanted to do a bit more, but just coming a bit too late in the evening. I meant to do a bit of recording of me actually doing it, but took an awful lot more than I thought it would, and it isn't even right. So still have all this on it, thick lime scale, but got off a good shot of it. It worked very well on the gates. Like, I only started on this wall, and the door got a lot of the lime scale off the door, but the likes of the steel work and the stainless steel, it worked very well. So I think it's going to take an awful lot more descaler to get it to where we want it to be, but like, I didn't make it very far today. It's just a lot of rinse what you can and then put on more descaler, try again. So it did took me a lot longer than I was hoping, but we'll get more of the scaler tomorrow, have another go at it, and hopefully it goes right for me. But I need to pack this up now and get ready for milking. Is the next job I need to do. So now we're going for the cows now, so it's a lot of configuring to get them in. So they're coming in from there, up there, so they have to come in along here. I had nothing there at the time, so I'm after commandeering a bit of a strap to go across there to turn them in left. They go in there and then they turn in right into the collection yard, and then eventually we're going to have them gates sorted. But they're not going to be out here for too long, so we won't stress about it too much. Just need to put up these wires here now. So cows are going over across there to the right and out. So I'm going getting them in now because we'll be going mixing while I'm milking. So making sure that we have enough space that we can get the mixing done is also fairly important. So yep, that's the story now. I don't want to touch that wire because it will blow me about 10 feet. So obviously not the most ideal surface for cows to be walking on, but thankfully they're not going to be on it for an awful amount of time, and they don't seem to be. It worked out fairly well having them going out into that field outside first, because they don't have they're not messing as much, so we're going okay now. So go down here now, get them in. They're just over there beyond that pile of earth, so I need to put up this wire again, and we'll go from there. Now wire's up, we're ready to go. Let's just hope to God that all this goes well, because if there's one thing that I always get worried about is bringing cows across the yard with only strip wires keeping them in. So come on, gate, will you? As you can tell, this gate is not opened often. And I say not often, I mean never. Oh, for God's sake. Come on. Oh, I'll come back to you now when I have this gate open. Now, job's a good one. Why is wrong with you now, camera? Jeekers. There you go. Now, we're at it again. Now, ladies, the only thing with this now is that this gap is in the middle, but it shouldn't be too much issue. So I do have the four-legged quad bike with me. The graze, in fairness now, we're making a good old crack at it now, grazing wise. We said we'd bring them in a bit earlier, just because one, kind of better get them out of the field earlier. And I mean, in fairness, they're not doing any damage, but it's only mainly just because we have we're doing the feeding, so just have them out of the field. But as you can tell, they don't really know what's going on at the moment, so they're slow to go out of the field. So Broad is going to come in handy here. Right, so Broad, go down around. Easy now. Don't want to get too excited. Go on, go down around. That's one thing that I do struggle to get him to do, is to go down around. Other days he could be the greatest dog on the planet, walk into a field and go away and do this, but you see the difference is this is a field that Broad doesn't really get cows out of unless they've gone into the field unintentionally. First time I knew Broad was a good dog was there is a gate up at the very top here, and that was left open by a contractor by mistake, and cows poured in here unintentionally. Grass was about a week away from being cut for silage. Broad was about 10 months old. Came out with Broad. 15 minutes later, After breaking into a 6 acres field, no wires, no nothing, just myself, Broad, and the man that owns the farm, and we had the cows out in 15 minutes. It was so quick that we had other people on the way out to give us a hand, and he'd them out already. So it was a joy to watch him. So I know he has everything in him, like, but I think he just needs a bit more confidence. Like, after a while, like, as you can see, he kind of just gains the kind of bit of momentum he needs, and he kind of goes at it himself. He kind of gets it kind of figured out, in a sense. Like, he kind of knows, right, cows need to go up to this side of the field, this is where he wants them to go, and he kind of guides them up behind them. Doesn't get too excited, doesn't go chasing them, biting them, pushing them too hard, unless I need him to push him hard. So, but he is a brilliant addition to the farm. And we don't have quad bikes, we don't be driving after cows or nothing. But just having him there, that if you have cows in the fields like this, I can walk out into the field on my own and be confident that them cows are going to come out and there's going to be no issues. I'll just draw him back now because there's a lot of cows going out there now and I don't want him to go through wires. Buddy, come here. Come here. Here, come here. Come here. Okay, lie down there. That's not what I asked. No, Broad. Hi, come. Broad. Hi, here. Here. Stay with me. Stay. Hey. Stay with me. Hey, back. Back. Hey, back. Just a small bit too much energy. Hey. Hey, back. Broad, hey. Easy, back. Lie down. Nice and easy now, buddy. Not trying to get them excited at all. We're just trying to get them in. So, Broad, hey, come here. Easy now, easy, back around, easy, come back, hey, back. This cow's trying to smother herself. Brody, back, hey, back. Brody, back, come back, hey, stay with me now, hey. I'm fucking very repetitive. Jeez, I lose my voice when I'm talking sometimes. Hi! Come back! See, now he's trying to chance his luck again. Broad! Back! It's all repetitive. Eventually then he gets it and now he's walking right behind me. Keeping with my pace and not pushing cows. Not going too near to them that they'll get excited. And now he's after finding a gap. Hi, lie down, lie, stay. But cows are flowing in nicely. Absolutely no issues at all here. So, and drama-free day at long last. But in fairness, the last few days have been grand. But yeah, I'm just realising now this video is going to be fairly madness now, to be honest. Jumping from days to hours to fucking different times of the day. But it's a different kind of a week. There's kind of stuff going on, kind of scattered. But yeah, that's that job done now. Cows are in at a reasonable time of 3:27. We left the yard at 3:13. So the time I started this video 6.5 minutes ago. So from opening the gate now to this, 6.5 minutes. So having a little four-legged lunatic following you around seems to pay dividends. This is where things get a bit arsehole now, because cows are going in there and have to come back and themselves in out here. So it's only a small inconvenience, but it's an inconvenience at the same time. But I will get these milked now in about an hour and a half. So no stress. Well, not even an hour and a half. I'd say it'll take me about an hour to meet this group. These are the cows that are kind of longer calved. The heifers are kind of a bit more sane. So yeah, but there's a bit of compaction here now trying to get these ladies in. Jesus, I tell you one thing, lads, if this weather held, we'd be going well. Because the heat, my God. This heifer breaks my heart every single time. She goes in there to that corner of the gate. Luckily there's room at the moment, but Jesus Christ, when there wasn't room, she'd stick herself in there to the corner and she'd stand and wreck my head. But that's that now, broad. So we'll get the old exit chute set up now and we'll go on milking. So I will talk to you after. I tell you one thing, lads, this video is going to be absolute madness. We've jumped again, a big jump. I am at home. We're feeding at the moment. It's about 8:30, so calves have been fed. And the plan is to get out a shot of these calves today, so I need to dehorn a batch of them. So I think these are the older groups up the top, so they are some smashing calves, like. So we'll see now. Just have to finish feeding. I'll let them settle down a small bit, and then we'll dehorn them then. So that's my plan for today. But this is going to be another while until these get done and we get them out. So yeah, but that's the end of today's video. It's all over the place, but it's the end of this one. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all the good things. New videos every Wednesday, Friday and Sunday, and I'll talk to you in the next one.